Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Island Vibe podcast. We are on our second episode and we'd like to thank everyone for all the positive feedback thus far. So, for today's episode, we're just going to jump straight into our topic. We will be discussing what?
Well, today we will be discussing Halloween. And in particular, Halloween in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But, wait. Halloween in Trinidad, because I know that people started to celebrate and have all this talk about Halloween in Trinidad. You know how usually you see Halloween in the States?
Right.
I don't understand the Halloween in Trinidad itself.
Well, I know it would have been a media conference where the Prime Minister was talking about, stay safe for Halloween and whatnot. And that kind of raised some questions among citizens because Halloween, why are we being warned to say stay safe for Halloween? So that is why we think that this episode is really relevant to the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago in particular. So I would like to get right into what is Halloween. Halloween is celebrated on October 31st every year.
So 31st every year. But all I know about Halloween is that the horror, the scary.
Yeah.
I mean, what you would have seen on TV, like as a child,
right,
on Disney Channel.
So basically what mass media really portrayed Halloween to be.
Right.
However, there are so many other aspects to Halloween. It's actually something that is a tradition and it has something to do with, according to the sources that I've seen, dressing up to scare ghosts away. They also said that around Halloween time, that would have marked the beginning of winter season. And because there's a lot of death and a lot of life that is lost during that period, that is why they, light fires and whatnot to, as a symbol of light, to really help with what they usually see happen during the winter period. Now, when we talk about winter, that is the first thing to me that was alarming as to why we should or should not celebrate it in the Caribbean. We have two seasons. We have dry season and wet season. So, if we look at it in that light, what are we doing celebrating this season that has to do with winter and the death and whatnot that is seen?
So, it's religious then?
Yes, it's religious.
It's tied to a religion?
It's tied to a religion.
Which one?
I saw something on at the time about, I think it's Pope Gregory.
Right. So
I'm not sure if there are any other religions that have popes besides the Catholic religion.
Right.
So I think it's tied closely to Catholicism. However, I did not really research much more on that.
Right.
So I'm not sure. However,
I just want to know, why is the whole talk about it locally?
Well, we getting into that. Okay. So, Trinidad and Tobago, we are a diverse country. We have persons from all over. We don't just have Caribbean people that live here. So, therefore, with people coming in, with the persons from Europe and from America and these other countries coming in with their beliefs, that is how the tradition could necessarily be spread to the Caribbean, especially Trinidad and Tobago, with these people coming into the country. And obviously businesses will capitalize on that. So you would see companies starting to sell clothing around, Halloween themed.
Yeah, I saw stores that put out all these lanterns and things like that.
You'll also have stores that will sell costumes. We have to also consider that these stores aren't local stores. These stores are from abroad and they came here based on globalization.
But they have some local stores too that's now starting take in stock Halloween theme kind of props and things like that.
Right.
And objects.
But I think we also have to understand that when there's a demand for something, it is only inevitable that the company provides for that demand. They supply that demand. So when you see local companies do it, it's a matter of them looking at the competition and saying, you know what, the competition is doing this, maybe we should do that to include.
But, okay, so we know the background behind Halloween, but my question still is, why? Why all of a sudden we adopting Halloween. We're saying, yeah, hey, you know what? Because at one point of time, it would have been, okay, people in a certain group would have had Halloween within their communities,
Sure.
right? So these people would have had different outside cultural influence, right? And they would have come here, settle here, right? Live here, reside here, and would have just done Halloween within their communities.
Right.
Now there are people who are not, from North America, right? And locals, Trinidadians, they are here and they are saying, we are going to put on a Halloween themed party, a Halloween themed event. We are going to dress up. So it's no longer in a certain community in the West, in anywhere. Now it's us locals. Well, not me. Right? Not me.
Not me.
Right?
Not me either.
Right? I'm not saying that. But why? Like, my thing is, why we have to do Halloween? Is there any particular reason you find?
Well, to me, I think it's all about like trends. It's what people do. For instance, the culture is constantly lost, and we could also go back to Carnival and we look at the purpose of Carnival and what Carnival was before and how it is now, and that transition. And because of that, the real reason behind Carnival is lost. And it could be the same thing with Halloween. There was a specific goal in mind, but because things get modernized, so now people are changing the costumes they wear. They are going for more sexy outfits, instead of trying to scare away a ghost, you're trying to be Harley Quinn.
Right.
It is really with a change in time periods that things evolve as well with the generation.
You know what now came to my mind? The movie Mean Girls?
Yeah.
When she said Halloween is the one time of the year, right? That girls could dress up any way that they want. So now, okay, I can understand if it's stuck with the theme of being scary.
Right.
But people are not even doing that for scary. They're just dressing up. I mean, there's nothing wrong in doing that, but sometimes even characters that don't even have to do anything, or costumes and people they're imitating that have nothing to do with, anything reason.
That is so true, but again, it goes back to the purpose and the tradition of it being lost. That happens in everything. It's in Carnival, it's in Halloween, it's in Christmas. So, who are we to say, well, this is not what it is? Everything usually gets lost in the mix. And, I think that's what we need to understand. But a lot of persons who live here, they have an idea of what Halloween is, and a lot of people are against it as well.
For religious reasons.
Religious reasons. Because a lot of people would have compared it to Obia and voodoo, witchcraft and whatnot.
Or just simply satanic and demonic.
Right. I also saw, when I was doing my research, that Halloween was that one time that the witches would gather to perform rituals. So it has something to do with that, that darkness.
Right.
So why is it being adopted in Trinidad and Tobago when we shun things like Obia, voodoo, and witchcraft?
Or then why we need to have it in the first place? Why can't we
embrace what we already have?
Yeah, embrace what we already have. So instead of dressing up with something that even apply to like Trinidad, witches and things like that.
Yeah, we could do things like folklore.
Yeah, because I am a big person of folklore. Like during Carnival time, I love watching
Old Mass.
Yeah, so that brings up something. Last year, when we had Carnival, I was watching on TV to see the Old Mass.
Right.
Now, whatever station it was on, it was switching back to inside, out by the stage, right?
Yeah.
And they had performances inside on the stadium. I can't remember which stadium, right? Everybody who was out, like when the camera went outside, they had like the big performances by the big carnival artists, right? So there's the whole jump up happening, right? But then when the camera would switch back inside to have the parade of the traditional carnival characters, if you see it, like when they pan out into the audience, there's no one. It's bare.
Wow.
It's bare. But everybody, as soon as they go outside, so whichever artist is performing, big crowd.
Right.
So I'm like missing that. Like I miss seeing like different characters. I learn about characters. I remember like learning about it in school. I never knew things about that.
And to add as well, saying that why don't we do this for Halloween? We can ask why do we need a Halloween when we could actually do that during Carnival time? Because that is essentially something that was applied to carnival, the
Right.
old mass, and even the folklore. That is something that we could bring back to carnival rather than having to celebrate it during Halloween when it doesn't really apply to us.
And you know how they have like carnival at different times throughout the year, and people, some groups will try to imitate Trinidadian carnival, but it's not the traditional part of
Right, it will
carnival.
never really be the
so
same
it's not the
either.
historical things being learned. It's all about, you know, the beads and the jumping up. But nothing is wrong with that. But you're transferring our culture, but you're not transferring the entire thing, the historical aspect, or
Right.
some aspects of it which could be actually educational.
Yes,
you know?
that's true.
Which is, I mean, it's unfortunate because then you're missing out on certain characters like Jab, Midnight Rubber, the Bookman, right, Dame Lorraine. Like, you're missing out on all any story behind those things.
Yeah.
I mean, even at my age, I still want to learn more. Like, every time I have gone to many cultural and traditional carnival shows before, and I love going to those things. But people don't really go to them anymore.
Yeah, it's really dying out. It's like the culture is really going away. And while our culture is going away, we are adopting another culture. Halloween.
So if a friend invites you and says, hey, what, Phillicia, we're pumping to this Halloween party in Valzine, right?
Halloween party in Valsy.
Are you going and what will you dress up as?
Okay.
I already have an idea who you will emit.
Who I will
as. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it Nicki Minaj?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why you would think that because I don't think that's who I
Also,
am as a person. I don't think that's who I am as a person.
Okay.
However, I will honestly say parties aren't my thing. I actually might not even attend.
A Halloween tea.
I actually might not even
So
attend.
nobody ever invites Phillicia anyway, right? Right? Point. But if you had to dress up,
If I had to dress up,
or it was just team, it was just somebody but this so happened
If
to
I'm
fall on that day
genuinely-
and say, you know what? Halloween team.
yeah, if I wouldn't lie, I wouldn't dress as something local. I will, although I don't know what I will dress as,
Yeah, I don't know what I'll dress up as.
it will definitely not be something
I'll
local.
probably be the only person who won't dress up. Probably.
That's
Probably with
bad.
like a
That's
graphic
bad.
tee or something with
That's bad.
something on it, printed on it. Right? But I don't see the reason why. I don't know. It just seems and the whole orange and thing.
Okay, so that is our opinion, right? But I want to do a little reading. I want us to talk a bit about what other people are saying.
Right.
So I actually compiled a list of some things that I saw on Facebook or on WhatsApp, and we could do a little discussion on this, right?
Okay.
So the first comment I saw was the US have placed a cancellation on Halloween and the Macy's parade this year. Sorry. While in Trinidad, it goes on like normal.
Macy's, not Massey. Yes.
Right.
So it goes on like normal. Well then again, they could do that because carnival is not big, it's not mainstream in Trinidad.
No, but even when you think about it, when you look at the COVID cases, because this is also talking about
Right.
COVID, right? The COVID cases in the US, it's completely, it's horrible compared to
In that case, I don't think it's a Halloween thing. I just find that's just a
like safety kind of.
yeah, I think, and whoever is doing that is just being dumb.
But I think the comment was really towards the Prime Minister
Right.
telling us be safe for Halloween.
Yeah, something along those lines.
And someone else said,
Mhm.
you all need to stop hating on the Halloween thing. I didn't grow up with it either. But when you live in a diverse, multicultural society, intermingling and influence is inevitable. So
Okay.
that's also true where we live with persons from all over. It's really hard for us to not adopt some of their practices.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Especially when they themselves might not really
Understand?
be right. When they themselves might not understand so much about their culture and they
Right.
pass it on to us. How
Right.
are we supposed to know exactly what it is unless we go digging for our research ourselves?
I mean, with the whole Halloween thing, I guess if it ever becomes more mainstream, I would like, I don't know, I feel it goes the same way because any state, like in any other outside Trinidad, outside the Caribbean region, they don't necessarily know the historical thing behind it. And we, for sure, or those who are, local and then participating in these Halloween events, they don't really know the historical thing behind it either. So I guess that's, it goes both ways in a way. Fair kind of way.
Okay, so I'd like to read one more comment,
Okay.
right? And that comment is, the only reason that doesn't make it a normal aspect of our culture, the reasons are, it simply isn't a part of our history and culture, so we do not connect with it. And our country is highly religious. No matter our religion, it most likely doesn't condone a holiday like that. Which I guess is true. To an extent.
To an extent.
The first part of it being not part of our history and our cultures, I totally agree.
Right.
However, there are religions that are syncretic in the Caribbean and they do focus on voodoo. That's a religion. And certain ones focus on obia.
Right.
So, some religions do condone it. However, the more colloquial religions like Christianity and other religions like Islam, they might not necessarily condone that as well.
Because it doesn't really shed light on the light, right? It's more kind of about the whole dark ambience and things associated or alluded to darkness.
That's true.
So that is a good thing. And so that's no, because many people don't really have an idea of what that really is.
Sure.
Or have any opinion. But besides anything with Halloween, is there anything that we could make it, I don't know, our own some more?
I genuinely don't understand why. We have Carnival and Carnival has...
They can't stop other people from applying it and saying, if I want to do Halloween, I want to do Halloween.
That
if I want to
is
celebrate
true.
something on October 31st.
Listen, I need to be real here. Trinidad have 1,000,001 holidays.
Exactly.
Why we need 2 different holidays to celebrate something that is similar? I don't see...
Because if we were to apply, let's say, local aspects
it
to
would
Halloween,
be
let's be
Carnival. Exactly. So I don't see why we need to celebrate Halloween okay. Yes, we can celebrate it to facilitate the persons who aren't from the Caribbean. However, to say, let's make it our own because we already have our own. Why do it twice
so then somebody could then join Carnival, have a traditional costume themed party, an event. Because if you realize, if you go to any Carnival event, it's all about jump up on the costumes, right? So, whatever, beads, whatever, right? But what about having, during that time, events that cater to, you're dressing up as a sailor, right? This one, I'm dressing up as a job. Right. I just everybody intermingling and things like that. And when somebody asks you about your costume, you're able to say yes. Why? The same way I will ask you, why you decided to dress as Nicki Minaj, or why did you decide to dress as some kind of creature or some kind of superhero, something, You
know what? It is a topic that is really debatable because there are so many aspects that contribute to why we should and why we should not. However, I'd like to ask you all, what do you all think? Should the Caribbean or Trinidad and Tobago adopt this mindset or accept Halloween for what it is, or should we make it our own? What should we do?
Or how to make it our own?
Yeah, how?
So I think that's it for this episode of the Island Vibe podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at the Island Vibe and look forward to more episodes every Tuesday. So, until next time.